Hey guys, this is Josh from the Duelist Club. Hey guys, this is Josh. Hey guys, this is Josh from the Duelist Club. This is my dog, Duke. So anyway, I'm bringing you that first place and, well, second place to Pendulum Magician's deck profile. And yeah, I'll let it cut to Michael, and yeah, let's get into it.
What's going on, people of the interwebs? It's your boy Watoon, and today we are interviewing second place for freaking... Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm Josh. You guys know me, Duelist Club already. So this is Pendulum Magicians. This is actually, I've been playing this deck for what, 3 weeks in a row now? I got first and then second and second.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of frazzled right now. He's gotten...
Yeah, I'm showing you guys the first place list though, and then I'll tell you what I changed to get second. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Start with the main. Alright, so Maxi, of course. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't play this card. 2 Rats, Whiptail, and Thoroughblade. So, like, I know everybody's tired of Zoo. I am too, but this is a 1-card Mrs. Radiant, so that's why I play that. And, like, it's just the best engine right now. Like, if you want to play this deck competitively, these just support the Pendulums really well. And so I play that because Whiptail, I mean, it outs a lot of stuff. And I feel like if you're going to play a Zoo engine and you have access to this, you might as well play it just to out things. And when you make Broad Bull, you only really have 2 things to search. It's this or this. So if you have this, you don't have anything to search. So that's why I play that. And it gives you a really nice follow-up to the next turn because we play 2 Dryden, so you can slap a Dryden on top of that. And then I play Blade because with the 4 Zoos and the 3 Barrage, that's 7 Zoo cards, but you don't want a lot of Zoo cards in hand. You only really want 1. So if you draw multiples, you can barrage this out, and then this effect ditch a rat or ditch whatever and draw a card, hopefully into some Pendulum stuff. But yeah, it's just too good not to play right now.
Right.
And then we got the Performapal Odd Eyes Minotaur. It's just a searchable high scale off Broad Bull. I don't usually search this, like, hardly ever, but it comes up sometimes when you need either a high scale or an extra level 4, just a Pendulum summon and go off from there. So yeah, that's good. Luster, it's a Pendulum deck. This is like my last resort destruction engine. You can search it off Duelist Alliance, and sometimes just blowing up a Magician can kickstart your whole play. So that's why he's there. And then we got 3 Joker. I promise I'm getting like supers. It's not just this one, so I'm not a scrub, I promise. But so like easily best villain in all the Batman movies. So that's why we max out on him. Alright, 3 Wisdom Eye. You guys should already know what this guy does. He's a starter, he's an extender, he gets whatever scale you want. I wouldn't play any less than 3, it's really good. Okay, 1 Oath Dragon. So, I've seen people play multiples of this, and I think that's a mistake. Because I've never been happy to see this card whenever I draw it. I like searching it sometimes is fine, but... And so, like, because it's not a starter, because it has no effect on its destruction. It's not a level 4, so if you Pendulum summon it out, it's literally just sitting there. And it bricks your hand when you see it. I was running it at 2, and I didn't like it. I saw it way too much. I don't even really like it at 1, but it comes in handy grabbing back stuff from the extra deck. But with the triple Joker and the Time Star and the spell card that searches, you have enough ways to get to this when you need it that you don't need to break yourself with multiples. There's no point. And then I've seen people run 3 Harmonizing as well. I could see that in Pure Magicians, but not in Zoo Magicians. You don't really need 3. And you can always grab it back with Oath Dragon from the extra. And so, like, the main reason I don't run 3 is kind of the same as this guy. It's not a starter. It's an extender. It's a really good extender. A whole lot better than an Oath Dragon. But it's just you don't want to see multiples in your hand, because if you do, you know, they're dead. Yeah, so I definitely keep it at 2, not 1, because you want to resolve more than 1 in a game, because it just it really helps extend your plays like a whole lot farther. It brings out an extra Magician, so it's an extra rank 4. So yeah, I think 2 is perfect. It's usually the last combo piece you search before you Pendulum summon. And then we got 3 Double Iris. So This card's really good too. It searches the Pendulum graph spell traps. I considered cutting it to 2, but I run 3 just so you can see it more often. You can search it off Duelist Alliance. And going second, it's a really good starter as well. Because you can't use its effect going first to pop itself, but you can if it's turn 2. So yeah, 3's good. 3 Purple Poison. This card's insane. This is my favorite Magician, effect-wise anyways. This card is just ridiculous. These 2 are what I want in the scales all the time until I've searched all the targets off that. But this card combos really well with the trap. It's really good going into battle phase. This is and Joker is a 1 card out to Masterpiece. Yeah, it's just an insane card. I would never run any less than 3. And the 2100 defense comes up a lot too, because it's decently hard for some decks to get over, like anti-meta and that type of stuff. Then rounding out the Magicians, 3 Black Fang. So this card's not amazing turn 1, but any turn after that, this is fantastic. It's one of your best starters, and it's also an extender, because it specials a Magician from Grave, or a Dark Spellcaster from Grave actually, so you can even summon back the Time Star. So sometimes this is really good turn 1 as well, but this is what I want in the scale after you burn through all the double irises, or after you search all the targets off that. Because a lot of times what will happen is I'll end my turn, my most optimal board with a Mrs. Radiant, a Time Star, a Tornado Dragon or something, a Dryden, then like the Trap and the Spell, and then 2 scales, usually these 2. And so when you have a board like that, when it comes back around to you, you probably already burned through this, but you can do enough, like with this guy, because he's not once per turn, so you can abuse him by specialing stuff back with this guy, that you can break their board before you Pendulum Summon, and then you just Pendulum Summon after to kill them. Like I had several games today where it came back around to me and I won without even needing to Pendulum Summon that turn, because I just had so much advantage already, and this guy was a big part of that. So yeah, 3. And so 2 Astrographs. So this guy's another talking point. So I ran, before Lynx, I ran builds with none of this, and I ran builds that maxed out on it. I really prefer the ones that cut it completely, because it doesn't synergize as well as you'd think. It's a level 7, so you can't make rank 4 plays with it. It's not a starter because it can't, there's no effect when it's destroyed. It's not good in the scale, you don't really want it there. But now that Lynx are out, this is a whole lot better, because it's a completely free body, like in terms of card economy, because you'll just like you'll pop a Wisdom Eye for its effect or something, and then summon this, and it just searches another copy, so completely free. And so yeah, I've used this to get on the board and then make a Decode Talker or something. So yeah, it's really good. I wouldn't run it at 3 yet, because like the way this card works, if you have a good hand, this makes it a whole lot better, but if you have a bad hand, this makes it a whole lot worse. So yeah, that's why only 2. You can search it off Time Star and get it when you need it. So Spicy Tech that I ran, Chaos Sorcerer. This card's alright. It's okay. You can run it if you want. I'm not gonna. I changed after I got first, and then the next week I took this out for another copy of the Trap. Yeah, I wanted it as removal for Dracos, because like if they have a Dynamite on the field, you summon this, and you activate effect to banish it, and they'll chain to get the Trap. Like, okay, that's cool, but you're not gonna be able to bring it back if your stuff is banished. And with as little monsters as they run, I thought banishing them was really good. But the thing is, there's not a lot of light targets. Like, you have Luster and Wisdom Eye, and I think that's it. So it's not really good to draw turn 1. But the synergy comes in where you can search this from Time Star, so that's why I played it. But I wouldn't play it again. Upstart, just for consistency. These were the last 2 cards I added into the deck. These were Fairy Tale Lunas beforehand, but with the 3 Joker and the 4 Zoos, that was already 7 normal summons, and I didn't want 2 more. And Fairy Tale Luna just didn't do enough for me to warrant those 2 spots, so I chose like removal and consistency instead. This card's the Searcher. When a Magician leaves the field, it's really good. I wouldn't run multiples though, because it doesn't stack. And you have 3 Wisdom Eye, or 3 Double Iris, and you can search it off Alliance. So I mean, you got plenty of ways to get to it. I think multiples clog, so that's why I only 1.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
2 Desires. It's a +1, which is really good. Gets you extra bodies to Pendulum Summon. Sometimes it can draw you into like a spell trap or whatever that you need to seal the game. Just really good. Double Duelist Alliance. I should run this at 3. I don't have a third one, but I probably will get one and run it at 3. It's at 2 right now, not just because I don't have one, but also like the targets it searches, like they don't break your turn. You know, they're not going to push you. If you have a good hand and you have this, it can push you over the top and, you know, seal the game. But if you don't have a good hand, like this can unbrick you kind of, but not always. Because like I like my decks to be consistent, of course, but I like my hands to be consistently playable too. So if you have like double this and like this and this and this or something, and you don't draw into anything, like you can't do anything with this hand. Like it's completely useless. So running a third one of this increases the chance of drawing multiples in a hand, and I don't want that. But it's kind of the same thing as Joker, where yeah, it can be dead if you have it, but when you don't have it, you really want it. So I'll probably bump it up.
All creatures
double Pendulum Call. So I was watching a deck profile of Pendulum Magicians a couple weeks ago, and the guy didn't run any of these, and he was talking about it, and I'm not quoting him exactly, but he said, if you run this card in Pendulum Magicians, then you don't know how to play the deck, because then you can't combo off. And yeah, like that's true, you can't combo off after you do this, but like if you don't run this card in Pendulum Magicians, I don't think you know how to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly. It's like, this card is so good. It won me games. Going second, it's amazing because it ensures your scales, so you're gonna for sure get off a Pendulum Summon. And sometimes it's just really nice to sacrifice the, you know, maybe you're not gonna make a board that's going to completely win the game, but it can get you back into a game, and it can at least give you that consistency and insurance to know that you're gonna get that Pendulum Summon off. So I would definitely run this at least at 1. I like it at 2 because you can search it off Alliance. But sometimes I want 3 of this, but it's run it at least at 1 for sure.
Alright, and then I gain...
And then 3 Barrage, that's the whole reason we're playing the Zoo engine. This can trigger Magician effects and give you a Mrs. Radiant plus a Dryden turn 1 without even using your normal summons, so you can normal Joker after that, so that's just insane. So I'm gonna play it while we got it. And then one of the trap. This trap's insane. So the only change I made the last couple weeks is I cut Chaos Sorcerer for a second copy of that, and even though I've gotten second and second since I've done that, I still would keep a second copy of this over this. Trap's just insane. Alright, do you want extra or side?
Either or, you can choose.
Alright, let's do extra.
Alright.
Alright, so Hammer Kong, Broadbolt, Shaka-9, Tiger, Dryden. So this right here is the bare minimum you have to run. For the combo, you go through all of it pretty much, and yeah. So if you guys have seen the combo video, you know how to do it. I'm sure you guys have seen the Mrs. Radiant Dryden combo floating around. But we play the second copy of Dryden just to get some value out of the Zoo engine, because before, if you don't play this, so when you search Whiptail with Broadbull, if you don't play the second Dryden, you're not going to have anything to summon. And it kind of forces you to make a Emerald off your second rank 4, because the way your combo string usually works. And so you'll have Mrs. Radiant Dryden and then 2 open slots, and you can usually make a rank 4 and a synchro, or 2 rank 4s, or whatever you want to do. And so if you don't play the second Dryden, like I said, it's going to force you to make this, so you'll have something to put on top of your Whiptail next turn. So instead of doing that, like, I'd much rather end like on a Dweller or a Tornado Dragon or a Time Star or something, instead of being forced to make this. I do make this though, but so that's why I play the second one, just to get value. Then we got, yeah, Emerald. I still think it's staple. It can loop your Zoo stuff. You can do some shenanigans with it. It's really good. Time Star, it's your searcher. It protects your Pendulum stuff. It combos really well with that. Yeah, so not 2 though. 2 comes up, just not enough to where you'd want to like. It just doesn't come up enough to where you'd want to play a second copy, just because like Magician's one of those decks where you can run like vampires. You can run like probably 20 plus cards in the extra deck and get a use out of all of them. So you really just don't have space for the second one, but it does come up sometimes. But this card's really good. Yeah. Dweller, if you can make it, you need to play it. Shuts down Dino for a turn. Really hurts True Draco. They can't break your field if you make a Dweller. So yeah, not much to explain there. Tornado Dragon. This card's staple in this deck. You can pop your scales. You can pop your opponent's back row. So in most decks, this card is just Disruption, but in our deck, it's a combo extender as well, because you can pop your double iris to search the trap. You know, you can just do a lot with it. So yeah, Tornado Dragon, really good. Ignister, it's a Pendulum deck, and this is insane. It's non-targeting shuffling, and destroying your magicians gets their effects too. Yeah, so you're just plussing off of it. So yeah, really good. Stardust. So, like I said, the way your best combo string usually works out, you're gonna end with Mrs. Radiant Dryden, a rank 4, and then a Synchro. If you want, or another rank 4. Sometimes I'll go into this just to protect my board. If it's like game 2 or 3 and I think they'll have a Raigeki or Dark Hole, because this runs away for its negate, and then it comes back and you can put it anywhere, so it opens up an extra deck slot. So it's just really good. Protects your board and leaves you with an open slot, so that's why it's Stardust. Omega, basically just because it runs away. It's just a good card. Like, you're taking a card away from your opponent and then you got space to make something else, so yeah, Omega. Decode Talker, I hate this card. It's not good, but it's the best generic Link monster we have. So
Top tier. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Proxy.
So we play it.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's true. Proxy Dragon did come out, but that's on the side, right? With the Link.
That
guys?
is there on the side.
Yeah.
You get it out with
So,
Mrs. Radiant. There you go.
You'll go with this, when it comes back around to turn 2, if they answer your Mrs. Radiant, then you want something to go into, because you can get, with Black Fang, like I was saying earlier, you can get a lot of bodies on the field.
I really like these,
So, yeah, you can go into this and, restock and then start pendulum summoning from your extra deck again. So, yeah. And then Mrs. Radiant, of course, probably the best Link monster out right now, I think. And yeah, it's really easy to make with the Zeus, so yeah. And then side deck, 2 Side Blocker. I love this card. It's great against everything, absolutely everything. I sided in game 2. Okay, no, if I lose, I sided in going first almost every game. So you declare a card name, and your opponent just cannot use that card until the end of their next turn. And
That's dumb.
Yeah, so they can't search it, they can't summon it. If they have it on the field already, they can't activate its effects, they can't tribute it, they can't do anything with it. So it just, if you know what to call, if you know what you're playing against, if you know what to call, this card can be completely deadly and just shut down an entire turn.
Or you could play Prohibition,
2
and
Ash.
it's better, because you can tribute it with Masterpiece.
Well, yeah, there's that. And another thing I forgot to mention. So this is a level 4, so you can overlay with it, and you can call its effect, and it's like Dweller, so you can overlay with it afterwards, and the effect still stands until the next turn, so that's really good. 2 Ash, probably should be 3, but 2 is fine. Yeah, not much to say about it. Yes. And then 3 Zaphion. This card's ridiculous. Everybody needs a playset of this card. So today, game 2 against Draco in the Pure Draco in the finals. I resolved this, shuffled back 6 cards. I think it won me the game. It's just really good. So I kind of sacked him there because I top decked this, and I was definitely in a losing position, and this completely turned it around. And then he had the demise game 3, and I top decked Ash right after that, so nothing I can do about it. So yeah. Raigeki, I actually don't like this card that much. I don't like board wipes in general, but
Just give it to me, Jeff.
I never side this in. I've had this in my side deck for 3 weeks now, never once sided it in, but you gotta play it, just in case. MST, that should be a heavy Storm Duster, but I'm too lazy to change it. Yeah, so anti-meta, I see a lot of that at our locals sometimes, so that's why I play that. I just don't like the discard off Twin Twister. That's for dinos. Yeah, not much to say about it. They just they lose to it. If you can bait out the Logia, which you usually can because you have scale effects and you have the Pendulum Graph Trap, so yeah. Royal Decree, like I said, anti-meta. 2 Typhoon. This is my out to anti-spell, or one of them. Dryden and Zaphion are my other ones, but I feel like since it's a Pendulum deck, you need to play it. And it's not bad against other decks too, because if you have this in your hand turn 1 and they control 2 spell or traps, you can just activate it from your hand and pop something, so it's decent, yeah. And then 2 D-Barrier for Zoo. I haven't seen much Zoo, but just in case, they're still pretty big. And yeah, that's the deck profile.
All right, any combos you want to run through, or?
Yes, well, we should. He smiles like that.
Yeah.
Combos.
What is this guy? Is he commander?
Yeah, he's my commander.
Oh yeah.